Oh, Smarks or whatever.
Arcs.
What?
Nothing.
You had to know that with Ziggler fighting for a title and a bunch of NXT shit going on, that it was not gonna be too long before a Bustin Smarks video took place.
Especially because Smarks are in their element with all these jobbers running around naked, slapping each other.
Yet they're still not happy about things, which I don't understand. But anyway.
A thread on Wrestling Forum called "There are way too many female wrestlers now. That is a problem, I agree." Well, JDP 2016's solution is, on a 3-hour show, why not give them the first hour? Because nobody wants to watch an hour straight of bitches running around.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And that's very...
And what would you do?
Let me know if I'm using this term right. That's a very cucky suggestion.
It is a very cucky thing to suggest. And what would you do for that whole hour?
Have them wrestle?
Have a great match?
Well, no, because nobody's going to watch that.
Nobody wants to see a 1-hour men's match, let alone these boring retards. This guy's trying to get laid by someone.
Is the current era better than the Attitude Era? King Cosmos writes, Nakamura is in WWE, so yes, it's light years better. My guess is that King Cosmos doesn't watch American promotions, only watches Japanese and garage feds, and now that Nakamura is here, he'll give it a spin.
Gene Clark wrote a song about King Cosmos. It's track 1 on the White Light album.
So, everything in the Attitude Era, according to this guy, can be flushed down the toilet because Nakamura is here now.
Yes.
You are a brilliant...
That's better than everything in the Attitude Era. If you want to give the Attitude Era divas a whole hour on Raw, that'd be better.
A gimmick where a guy has wrestled all over the world? Markov Kane writes, I've seen this before. Reigns fanboys act like everything that makes up Zayn and Owens is solely based off traveling the world. Get a fucking clue. Traveling the world gave them more experience than anything Roman ever did as The Rock's fake cousin or wannabe football player.
Time out.
You think this guy's watching our videos?
So, number 1, he's not his fake cousin. They're really cousins, so I don't know what that means. Number 2, he's saying all they're saying is that their gimmick is they travel the world. And then he doesn't say what their gimmick actually is. He just confirms that all they did is travel all over the world. He says, that gave them valuable experience. Okay, fucktard.
No, that means that's all they have nothing endearing to them that makes people want to watch them.
It's not real. Experience in what? It's not real.
This guy's such a retard.
It didn't give them experience on cutting interesting promos, that's for damn sure.
Nakamura's on Talk is Jericho. LP Prince writes, Styles vs. Nakamura for world title, with Asuka announcing them, Ibushi as referee, Bryan as commentator, and Punk as color commentator. Shut up and let me have this one.
Ew.
What? That is the worst. Who's Ibushi? Who the fuck is Ibushi?
He's another one. He looks really gay. He's a midget with tits. One of them got behind that somehow.
Oh no. The formatting was weird.
This is from Facebook.
Greg Louvre. Carl Anderson is a very talented wrestler. Why did they have him look so weak? I get it, have him lose, but not like that. What match is he referring to?
I don't even remember. This is the one Carl Anderson fan on the face of the earth.
Why do you like Carl? What makes Carl Anderson
He's a very
better than Doc Gallows? Or
what makes Carl Anderson better than Spanky? At least Spanky wasn't a bald, oiled-up queer.
Spanky. Here's a thread. The Ambrose-Ziggler feud was actually well built on SmackDown Live.
The fact that they wrote SmackDown Live shows how much...
You're such a mark. Forget Smark, you're a mark. Peerless writes, it was nothing too fancy or complicated, just simple booking, i.e. boring as fuck. Ambrose called out Ziggler on his lame shtick, and Ziggler fired back. The entire night was about Ziggler trying to prove himself, and he did that by beating Bray. I'm actually not that annoyed that they didn't turn Ziggler heel.
Whoa.
Come SummerSlam, he will be very over as the face.
Yeah.
When has Ziggler ever been very over? And don't say when he cashed in, because that was a Eurosmart jizz crowd that doesn't count.
Jizz crowd?
Yes, they were a jizz crowd.
You gotta make that a term. Add that to the glossary.
Ambrose's character is also in transition.
Go away! How is it in transition?
From the underdog champ to a top guy who's obsessive about keeping the title. How's he obsessive?
Where are you getting any of this?
You're projecting your own fantasies!
You're making
This isn't happening!
You're making shit up!
People need to go on Thorazine like you when they start seeing things that aren't happening!
If he was obsessed about defending his title, wouldn't you want to defend it against somebody who wasn't a jobber? Wouldn't you want to fight against the best? He's fighting against some queer, and I hate, like, where is this transition in his character? He started out as the guy who does this, and now he's still the guy who does this.
Since Ziggler will probably come to SummerSlam as the fan favorite, they're booking.
You're making shit up! The fans were booing him!
They really should.
When he kicked Ambrose last night, we're filming this on a Wednesday, by the way. I don't know when it's going to get uploaded, but when he kicked Ambrose last night, he got boos. He's not the fan favorite. They still like that Ambrose retard.
They really hit home with that Dean would do anything to keep the title. Ambrose should wrestle like a heel at SummerSlam. Ziggler puts in fighting effort, but ultimately loses. Then I guess they can have him turn heel and feud with someone else so he can solidify himself as an upper mid-carder. But he's not an upper mid-carder, and this feud isn't elevating him. He's a jobber!
If you want him to be an
And I know people throw that term around, like, liberally now. Ziggler is a jobber.
If you want him to be an upper mid-carder, then why are you supporting him fighting for the world title? Doesn't that devalue the world title? Doesn't that make Ambrose's reign look like a joke? What the fuck are you talking about?
I've complained about a weak mid-card, but tonight was a step in the right direction. So you're admitting a world title feud is a mid-card feud. That's great. The top title on SmackDown, the face of the blue brand, is the mid-card.
So, and that there you go. SmackDown is officially the B show.
Here's another jobber.
Sorry.
Here's another jizz fan.
Marky Whipwreck, who is in so many Bustin Smarks.
He writes, I can't say enough how good their opening segment was. They laid out the format really well. Both guys shine tonight, especially Ziggler.
Ziggler with his fake passionate
and like 20 people clicked like on that comment. And then his signature picture is a picture of Adam Cole, whoever that is. He looks like an even gayer version of Ziggler, and he's got the world title on him.
He's got a photoshopped WWE Championship on him, because this guy is a heterosexual. He wants us to believe
and since
that.
he had Photoshop, he could have picked any title, but he picked the new one.
He leads us to believe that he's a heterosexual with that picture.
Another guy, Styles P1, whose signature is Becky Lynch. They have done a tremendous job with Ziggler. I'm sorry, his profile picture is Becky Lynch. His signature picture is even gayer.
You gotta show it to the camera.
They've done a tremendous job with Ziggler the last 2 weeks. I'm actually invested in this feud after tonight. Great job. It doesn't take a lot, does it, with you fucking jobbers? Look how gay this guy's signature picture is. What the fuck is this? What is that?
Oh, it's the Young Bucks super kick party in the face.
That's gay.
Everyone should just change their name on this website to Durr.
Another one. This guy wrote like a fucking essay. Ecclesiastes 10 writes, compared to Raw, Ziggler's and Ambrose mic skills were Attitude Era level. They sounded like they were really trying to put down each other while building themselves compared to Finn and Seth's boring promo that was formulatic. Well, I agree with that. Basically, I'm a better wrestler. No, I am. Well, I'm a bigger ass. The funny thing was, on its premise, Ziggler and Ambrose had the same thing as them, but there was personal. It was personal. They were telling a story with the words.
Go fuck yourself.
You felt and were able to see the picture. That this is a guy who is literally masturbating and writing what he's feeling while he's jerking off. Yeah, that's all this is.
One hand on the keyboard, the other on his cock.
That's so gay. Stop analyzing this shit. Oh god, this is the gayest thread ever. What's your most against the grain opinion in wrestling?
Joker's last laugh says, because you know he's a virgin.
I find the babyface heel dynamic to be boring and unrealistic. So what do you want, Joker faggot? What the fuck do you want?
Congratulations, folks. People don't want wrestling anymore.
What do you want? Like, really? If you don't want faces and heels, what do you want?
I just want great matches with exciting athleticism.
No, you don't. You can't possibly want that because it's boring.
Nobody else on planet Earth wants that. But you see, these people don't care about what's healthy for the wrestling business and what will draw numbers and get money. They don't care. They want what they want when they're the absolute, like, fucking super loud but obnoxiously small minority.
Is this all one post?
No, this is all the same person, though. He's writing his own fantasy booking on Wrestling Form.
Holy shit. Alright.
You gotta read all of those. I'm sorry, but
alright, so this is like, I'm there, Be the Booker fantasy fanfiction cum dumpster section of the forum. Eric Spears, he wrote this fucking gay essay. Okay, my idea is to be called the Wrestling Revolution, and it makes room for NXT to declare its independence and have an anarchist character, much like the Joker from Batman.
Why is everyone obsessed with comic books and the comic books and wrestling? Stop it. One's for children, the other's supposed to be for white trash people.
That makes for some interesting stable ideas, the Asylum and the Void. Have wrestlers who have been rejected, fired, and all the indie stars that has gotten overlooked. Also, used maybe anywhere between 4 to 8 indie promotions and their respectable champions and fan favorites and number one contenders not really invade WWE, but promote themselves by illegally coming and having matches. And again, that's really badass. Let's invade and not beat anybody up. We'll have a match.
We'll just have great matches and show them what work rate's all about. It's a work rate based feud.
Have them arrested or escorted after their appearance. And
they'll wait for their great match to finish for these fans, and then the cops will come in and arrest them.
Have them keep doing it until WWE decides to let them have a Saturday night show, or just let them have a few matches every week on any show. After so long, they can use different tactics to get them to stop, offer them contracts, that sort of deal. Yeah, that sort of deal. Then at WrestleMania, have a world title tournament unifying all the belts within the promotions involved, and only have WWE main titles in the tournament, King of the Ring, as the main event at WrestleMania. Odds of it happening are slim, I know, but I still think it would show WWE character as they care about wrestling business. Can you, use, pronouns, please? Make for making, literally, it says, make for making quite a bit of money and giving us fans sort of the invasion angle we have all wanted and needed. That's what you want?
That's the invasion. Don't have people come in and start whipping ass.
So,
have them have great matches. Like this person, does he think this is realistic at all? Have CZW guys just show up in WWE and then get hired.
I'm only a quarter of a way through his post.
Oh, he's got a lot more suggestions.
A few other ideas I got is to have someone steal Money in the Bank and let them have a match and reveal it was stolen when they go to cash it in. A few others is to have a female wrestler wear a mask but make herself look like a guy and win the US or IC title, then reveal she was really a woman just to show they're just as good. Maybe have a masked wrestler and an unmasked wrestler and make it look like they're the same person, but then in the end it's not.
Who is that for? Oh, there's a big masked guy, he's whipping ass, and now it's a girl. Okay.
So then
who's gonna enjoy that?
He changes gears completely and just starts writing. Dean Ambrose, frustrated and bored, starts getting into the darker side of himself, trying to recruit others for his own stable, the Asylum. So Ambrose is the Joker now, right?
All this guy's shit is Joker related.
And at first, no one wants to join, thinking he's too crazy and might rape them. And have Ambrose beat everyone who doesn't want to join, discouraging everyone else.
Whoa, look out.
His first recruitment ends up being The Miz, but only because that's very specific. But only because Ambrose sees that he is down and out and depressed. Ambrose keeps deviously pointing out why he should be and how bad he is, which of course infuriates The Miz. Can you learn words?
Infuriate is not a word.
Where Miz challenges his 2 matches, ends up with backstage brawls. Once Ambrose breaks through and Miz seems to be coming around to Dean's point of view, Ambrose then cutthroats attacks him all the time, never letting up, only to reveal it was tough love and how Miz proved himself to be worthy of joining Ambrose.
Why does Ambrose care about the Miz so much?
Once Miz finally embraces the truth, becomes an anarchist, and goes crazy and changes his name to Misery.
Whoa! This person spends time with this.
It's so gay.
He changes his name to Misery, guys.
Painting his face like that of the Joker.
We're not making this up. I really found this.
But in his own way, starts kidnapping people, tearing the ring down at main event and main event matches. Him and Ambrose start terrorizing WWE the same way Ambrose did with The Miz does the same toothers. Second recruitment being Braun Strowman when he is down and out also. Why is everybody depressed in your story?
Because he's a mopey emo.
White family being split up. They also talk him into joining, repeating the same thing Ambrose did with Miz, except they both have to do it to Braun. Eventually, he embraces it, renaming himself the Executioner. Still trying.
They already had an execution.
Modeling himself kind of after a Leatherface Rambo intermix.
Leatherface Rambo. What?
Continue CTO. Cause havoc throughout WWE, trying to. This guy has severe autism. That's what this is. It's some guy who broke out of his asylum and wrote this. So wherever this guy's from, Wrestling Forum, please backtrace his IP address and send the cyber police after this guy to lock him up because he's a danger.
Eric Spears is his name. He's got more, I think.
But he's not done. Here's another thing. Sami Zayn starts getting hated on by the higher ups, especially Stephanie. Right after his matches, El Generico character comes in after his matches almost instantly. Anytime on the mic, have Sammy somewhere where he can't be seen, saying the lines, dubbing his voice over the wrestler, portraying his former persona. Have the crowd convinced he is this wrestler, considering the two are never in the same place at the same time. Have Stephanie have TV time, getting mad and frustrated with him, saying, "We all know it's you," and still call out the wrestler with the mask. Have Zayn go look. I'm getting out of breath. Have Zayn go look for him while he's doing that. Have the El Generico character come out, again, making it look like Zayn have built towards the match at a pay-per-view, and right before that happens, a week or two prior, have them finally meet, and Stephanie realizes it's not him, but being the bitch she is. Have her still take out her anger on Zayn, and say if you lose this match against the El Generico duplicate, then he is fired. Have him lose the match, but have him kidnap the wrestler, and then I'm not reading this anymore!
Sami Zayn.
What is your problem?
Sami Zayn's gonna fight a disembodied El Generico.
So, Charisma Vacuum writes, what's the point of coming up with all these ideas if you'll never see them on TV? So, he goes, I stopped brainstorming fantastic ideas a while ago. So, in other words, he's implying that Eric Spears is a tormented soul whose ideas are brilliant and are being overlooked. Eric replies, I may not be famous, may not get to ever see it on TV, but at least I give the fans some fiction to look forward to. At least I get to share my ideas with a community. And who knows, even if I never got credit, as long as the idea actually happened. However, unlikely, since I won't ever get to see it, at least. Just feel it's worth putting out there. Plus, I just like sharing, and I write WWE fiction stuff all the time, and try my best to play out in WWE games. Just a hobby, something I do for me, and hopefully others as well.
This person is severely autistic.
I really feel bad for him.
Severely autistic. He's a very sick man.
Yeah. Okay. Diamond Wire writes, always thought it would be a neat storyline to have a fourth S.H.I.E.L.D. member pop up. Story would go, he was betrayed by the original three prior to debut, and he spent the last few years journeying to WWE for revenge. Yeah, that's a story people are really going to get invested in.
There's no fucking sense to
Oh no! It's him! He was betrayed by the team that doesn't exist anymore. We should care.
And oh no, he was betrayed by the team that was invented in WWE, but somehow he was never here. That makes a lot of sense. Leave the writing to Eric Spears, alright?
Negatives about the Ruthless Aggression era. There is no negatives.
Well, this guy has a really fucking long list.
He writes, so I've seen that the last couple of years, people have gotten more nostalgic for the 2002 to 2005 period, which is usually called the Ruthless Aggression era.
What does it's usually called? No, it's what it is. I don't understand what does he think he's gonna... I know the real name.
I find this interesting, since back then I saw the same amount of bitching about WWE as I do nowadays, pretty much. Cena's already getting lots of boos in mid-2005, and people were complaining about potential stars getting buried or not having enough opportunity.
Yeah, the same people who were complaining about guys like Ziggler were complaining about guys like Christian. That doesn't mean the era was bad. Look at the fucking ratings!
Triple H's reign of terror from mid to late 2002. Well, he didn't hold it all the time, but it sure felt like it. Plus, his matches in 2003 were so bad.
Fuck you and the great matches. We proved that he didn't even have a reign of terror. Unless you wanted Nash and Steiner to be champions.
Is that what you wanted? And his pseudo Four Horsemen Flair-like character didn't fit him much.
If that was his character, it fit him perfectly. Evolution Triple H was one of the greatest heels ever.
Because that's what Triple H really is.
Yeah. My title.
Raw and SmackDown never being equally good. It's like one of the brands was good and the other was bad.
What are you talking about? 2002
to 2003 and 6 were all about SmackDown. In 2004 and 7, Raw was better overall. In 2005, Raw was better till the end of the draft when it lost Jericho, Batista, and Christian. Okay, they also got Kurt Angle, RVD, and all the cool wrestlers from SmackDown. Nobody cared about Jericho and Christian.
Like, what the fuck is this guy tagging about? That was probably the time when there was probably the most equal parity between the shows ever.
Many of the SmackDown single-brand pay-per-views featured the Basham, Scotty 2 Hotty, Kidman and Maven, and Hardcore Holly on pay-per-view. No thanks. Great. This era features Finn Balor and Sami Zayn on pay-per-view, but I guess you like that, right?
He's making it seem like the Bashams and Maven were in high-profile, like, amazing championship quality.
Not every match is going to have that.
No.
Look at the crap, the drivel that's around now. Who's a star now? Don't say Fergal because we wrestle all over the world.
Now you got guys like the New Day fighting for championships at pay-per-views.
He also doesn't like the overtly big roster. It was way too big, and most ex-WCW and ECW guys added nothing to the product. DDP, Steiner, Nash, and others are just a waste of paychecks. They were a waste of paychecks, but they're the guys you're complaining that Triple H buried. You fucking retard. You don't know what you're talking about. You didn't watch back then. I don't believe you.
How the roster was too big, but they split the show and everything was split like perfectly. Nowadays, you don't even have a roster. You have like 8 wrestlers, but you have 2 shows. That's why you have these jobber-filled main events at SummerSlam.
Okay, this next one pisses me off. He doesn't like the overtly heel dominance from mid-2002 to 2005. Wrestling is a face-driven business. When you have the top belts mostly on heels like Triple H, JBL, and Lesnar,
look at what look at what they created.
They created Batista and Cena, who led their respective brands until the end of the fucking decade, you retard. Cena is still the top wrestler.
Having great heel champions who reigned for such a long time, like JBL did on SmackDown, like Triple H did on Raw.
When they lost, they made it all that more memorable.
Triple H is still building stars today because of that. Look what he did for Cropper. He tried to do Benoit. If he didn't murder his family, who knows where that could have went. Tried to do Orton, Cena, Batista. Like, okay, what happens if you who do they want to be champion back then? Who's someone gay that they probably
Christian.
want? Okay, so you get face Christian as champion for 25 years. What stars are created from that? Who cares? Oh, Kill Switch.
Generic tag teams, the Dicks, the Bashams, the Heartthrobs, La Resistance, even Eminem weren't great, but they had Melina as a mouthpiece. Melina was their ass piece, not their mouthpiece.
Eminem was awesome.
Eminem was awesome.
Everybody
put
loved
on
that.
great matches, and they had a good feud with Eddie and Ray.
And Eddie and Batista before Batista.
And most tag teams are generic.
At least all of those tag teams had character.
The Dicks were hilarious.
Every single one of them had character. The Dicks were there just so Taz could make gay jokes about Cole.
Pathetic attempts at being edgy and failing hard. Katie Vick, hot lesbian action.
Okay, no. You can't talk about this when you're probably an Enzo and Cass fan and you like their cheese doodle jokes. Hey, you're an A-cup! Well, that's really edgy. Shut the fuck up. That fucking shit drew fucking ratings. The live sex celebration with Edge and Lita, what was the rating for that?
That was like the highest one in years.
Get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. Failing hard.
Jericho being a mid-carder after that feud with HHH.
Got bad news for you. Jericho is a mid-carder.
And got news for you. You're saying after that feud with HHH in 2002 that you're complaining about? That was the feud where Jericho was the undisputed champion. You fucking retard. Beginning the loss of credibility of mid-card titles. The IC and US titles began losing their credibility. No, that was the only time they were actually important. Nobody cared about the mid-card titles in the Attitude Era. Who cared about the European champion?
Mideon and D'Lo Brown were European.
The mid-card titles were big in the Ruthless Aggression Era. They freaking did the best of 5 US title thing with Benoit and Booker T.
I was gonna bring that up in a future
Randy
video
Orton.
because they're doing like a best of 7 thing with Sheamus and Cesaro, and I just remembered like how come seeing Benoit and Booker every night was fun, but seeing Jarrett or whatever and Sheamus.
How about the Matt Hardy MVP feud?
Enjoy
That's
that.
like cited as like the greatest thing ever. That was a mid-card feud towards the end of that.
There was a match.
Randy Orton came to be a star when he first won the IC title.
There was a match on a random SmackDown between like John Morrison and Rey Mysterio for the IC title, and it was like an amazing match that could have main evented the show. But no, they didn't matter.
And his final one is Stone Cold retiring and The Rock leaving. Great. You want them to die in the ring?
Like everybody has to go sometimes. See,
This guy complaining about The Rock leaving probably complained when he came back last
and
year.
you see when you have great heel champions, you can get faces to replace them because of
And
it.
they did.
But that's a problem for you. So what do you like in wrestling? You don't like edginess. You don't like great heels and people getting put over by great heels. You don't like evolution, which is weird because I thought everybody liked that. You don't like it when mid-card titles are featured because they're really not being featured. And you don't like tag teams with character. I don't know. What do you like? Oh, he likes work rate and psychology, probably.
Here's the thread. It's a shame we will never see AJ Lee versus Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch fan writes, because those two would have tore the house down and been one of the best women's feuds of all time, because both women can bring it in the ring and on the mic.
On the mic. So
But none of them would draw a dime on a stripper pole, and that's all that matters in women's wrestling.
Sasha, I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, well,
What's worse, my bones or your bald head?
It's just like, who cares about Diva's mic work?
You're such a fucking you're a cuck.
Yeah, you're a cuckold. I was playing Medieval 2 Total War, and one of my generals' last names was the Cuckold. Leopold the Cuckold was his name. Continue.
Caustic adds, no, the Shamans will never see a Punk versus Shinsuke Nakamura match.
See, this is why I hate Punk fans. Because they're fucking like atheists. They have to bring up that they're Punk fans no matter what. This is a thread about divas. No! I want CM Punk! No! God's not real! God's not real! Can you shut the fuck up? This is why nobody likes you. CM Punk fans are the atheists of wrestling.
Biggest first time ever matches. Orton versus Lesnar up to the likes of HBK versus Angle.
No.
OMG, Seth Rollins writes, personally, this is the match I've been waiting for forever. And the build is what I hoped it to be.
The build!
What build?
The build is they're telling you the match is happening, and that's it. That's the build. You always hoped for that?
Orton is as arrogant, as cocky as Brock is. After Orton did that pose at the top of the stands, you felt how serious this is getting.
Orton was like laughing. He was like, yeah, oh my god.
It has the same feel as Lesnar Goldberg.
No, it doesn't at all. Lesnar versus Goldberg made me want to buy a pay-per-view. This makes me not want to buy a pay-per-view.
That's unbelievable.
And how the fuck... Oh, is this the biggest first-time match ever? How about The Rock versus fucking Hogan, cocksucker?
Bayley versus Sasha Banks in the main event of WrestleMania 33. Thoughts? Yeah, it sucks. Styles P1 writes, I would be down.
Of course you would.
I like women.
Of course you
The
would.
match they had in Brooklyn was one of, if not the best women's match I've ever seen. Not a fan of Sasha, but I wouldn't mind seeing this match as the main event. Are you kidding?
He doesn't like her, but he'd still want to see her in the main event just because he is that much of a pee-whipped cup. Please tell me her name. What's her name? What's the name of the fat monster you're trying to fuck? Please, I want to know. Because you don't believe this. You just said you don't like her, but I still want to see her in the main event because I'm a hero.
Macho King. Really cool that the Divas are now known as women's superstars.
Why is that cool?
Admittedly, at first...
Why is it cool?
You're such a cuck. At first, I didn't think it was a big deal. Who cares if you're referred to as a diva? Don't take it so literally. But considering how much the WWE women kick butt, probably more so than the men right now, it's a nice move on WWE's part. Brings some equality and legitimacy to the women. I like it. You're such a faggot.
Do you like it? Go sit on a dildo. I like it. I like it. Look at me. I like it, ladies. I'm a hero.
You white knight cuck.
It's a hate speech on this campus.
Why Hardcore Holly was never a main eventer? Anna Rock writes, Holly was with WWE for 15 years. He was always in great shape, and he was always there.
Is that all it takes? Just be happy to be there?
But at the end of the day, he was a mid-carder.
Yeah.
It appeared WWE was finally giving him a push, but nothing happened.
How is he getting a push, ever? When was he getting a push? When I'll get him, Bob! Kick his ass, Bob! Or when he was Cody's fucking knee pad brother or something. What are you talking about?
Holly said HHH wanted him to join the clique, but Bob declined.
Oh, of course. It's Triple H's fault he didn't get a push, guys.
Is the reason he was never a main eventer?
Yeah, that's the reason. It's not because he was boring, had no character.
You can't join the clique. It's like, hey, you want to be friends with me? Like, that's not how it works. The clique was a group of friends. It wasn't a stable. You don't know what you're talking about.
Don't blame the fact that he had no character, no mic skills, and was one of the most boring and genuinely hateable human beings back. No, don't blame it on that. Blame it on Triple H, because anything wrong with wrestling that you don't like, it's always Triple H's fault.
So, Brock Lesnar called out Goldberg, which was pretty cool. Ziggler Crew, which just means you're gay. People wanting to see this match again are out of their minds. Between Lesnar being lazy as fuck, in all caps, and Goldberg being older, this match in 2016 will fucking suck. It will suck on unimaginable levels. You know what sucks on unimaginable levels? Motley Crue and Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? Nobody said Lesnar was lazy until Dean Ambrose said that in the fucking Austin podcast, so this guy's just an Ambrose fanboy. And fucking hey, these are the same people who want Cropper to fight Lesnar in UFC! But don't bring Goldberg out because he's old?
Wolverine 2.0. Goldberg in 2016? No thanks.
Okay, how about Wolverine movies today? No, fuck you. You're a fucking comic book virgin. I'm sick of this comic book shit!
It's like that guy Will from Beauty and the Geek. The Toad guy.
Well,
The next flag bearer, El Shiv writes, Gable once his alpha days are over.
I don't even know what that means.
That's that Chad Gable guy from American Alpha.
Oh, it's his Alpha Day. I thought that's some new fucking garage band. Alpha wrestling.
So Marty Whipwreck.
Marky Whipwreck is back again, and I don't know what this means.
In that thread he writes, "Give him time. He hasn't signed yet." And then he posts a picture of Tommy Dreamer.
It's not Tommy Dreamer.
Yes, it is. It's as if Sheamus and Tommy Dreamer had a baby.
I don't know who this is, but apparently he's the next flag bearer.
It's Tommy Dreamer.
Follow your dreams.
What is he bearing flags for?
He's the gay pride flag.
Yeah. And our final one, X Grodziki. Here's a thread. It's called Ibushi Alexander versus A Nakamura. I want to hear opinions in all caps. Either of these are easily match of the year. If you 1A or 1B, if you will. No other matches have come close this year. Hopefully SummerSlam will have contenders. Let's hear your thoughts. Zayn Nakamura was a stunning match. The fluidity, the chemistry, the styles were perfect.
Hold on, what does fluidity mean?
I don't know. Like bodily fluids? Nakamura's character was off the charts. Zayn's resolve.
His character was off the charts.
Zayn's resolve was commendable.
His resolve? It's not real!
Fighting a beast like Nakamura.
It's not real.
That fucking gay beast.
He doesn't have resolve because he's not really fighting.
Back and forth dueling crowd chants. Fantastic sequences in chain wrestling.
Chain wrestling.
Brutal strong style action in a WWE setting.
Brutal strong style action, guys.
You know what I think of when I think of WWE setting with strong style? People getting ass raped with the bunny dancing back and forth. To me, this is going to end up being either 1 or 2 at the end of the year for match of the year. Here's the thing, it wasn't on TV!
Nobody knows that this happened. I didn't even know this happened. I don't even know. Is this Wrestle Kingdom or WWE?
WWE. Don't you remember a WWE setting?
No, I don't. But I don't know when this happened.
Neither do I. Ibushi Alexander was, as Ronaldo said, an instant classic.
No, he said it was an instant classic, old scout.
Setting the world on fire overnight. Unbelievable match. Really just a treasure to watch. For the first
Can
time
you stop with these cornball adjectives? It was a treasure.
For the first time in a long time, a match had me audibly marking out. What is audibly marking out?
That means that
he was making cum sounds. Oh!
That's the sound.
I was just losing my marbles.
That's code for losing loads and loads of semen.
The near falls are perfectly placed and timed. The match didn't feel rushed or overly spontaneous.
Who the fuck critiques the timing of it? You're not a fucking wrestling coach.
So smartly worked. Crisply engineered.
Crisply engineered. Not even like the wrestlers are crisp in the ring. He's talking about the engine. What the fuck is engineering? What are you talking? You're making shit up. Which SmarkBusters fan wrote this? This is a lifetime premium member, so it's not even a Smart. This is a real person. Jesus Christ.
It was an absolute treasure to see Ibushi in the ring with someone as talented, as intelligent like Alexander.
How do you know he's intelligent? He can't even speak fucking English!
If it were up to me, Ibushi Alexander would win match of the year. Good thing it's not up to you.
Yeah. Jesus Christ almighty.
It's like the smarkiest post I think we've ever...
Crispy treasures! I love Ziggy Guy who used to write parody posts. Didn't write anything as bad as this when he was writing about circadian rhythm. This is worse, and it's real!
Crispy matches.
Crispy engineering! What a treasure! The fluidity! The fluidity that was seeping out of the hole of my prick! What the fuck? My asshole is moist, guys! Let me pinch my nips! Jesus, can you just write that as like, this match made me pinch my nips? I would respect you more!
I loved it so much! I pressed in on my frenulum so when I come, it was the dry orgasm, and then I retrograde ejaculated when I peed that night.
That's a thing that happens, by the way.
Oh.
I swear to God, they're not even hiding it anymore. Smarks don't care about wrestling. They watch it because they're sexual predators. They're fucking birds.
Treasure!
They masturbate to this shit.
It's a crispy treasure.
They don't watch it for lowbrow, action-packed entertainment. They watch it to get sexual stimulation.
Not from the divas.
No. That's where they want to see athleticism and great stories. That they want that. But when it's the guys, they want to whack. I swear to God, they want to reverse the roles. They want brawn panties matches with Ibushi because they're engineered well. But they want the divas to have like 35-minute Iron Man matches.
Put that in the club show this year, please.
with you people?
Fuck Cody Rhodes. Oops, I said Cody Rhodes. Oh, well.